Today we're going to do a video on how to reline your Pro Forge. We're going to start with undoing the hose from your propane bottle, making sure all that's off. We do recommend that you wear safety glasses and a dust mask while you're doing this. The next thing we're going to do is to disassemble the striker. There's a nut on the back of the striker. You're going to loosen that, and then we're going to pull the wire off of the back of the striker button. Striker comes off, set that aside for later. Now we're going to take the tab that holds the striker lighter button on. We're going to take that off. It's 2 Phillips head screws. Now we're going to use a 7/16 nut driver. We're going to remove both of the nuts that hold the burner manifold onto the forge. 2 nuts and 2 flat washers. Then the burner manifold will lift directly up out of the forge. Remove the door handle. Now we're going to take both of the end caps off of the forge. There's 3 Phillips head screws that hold each end cap on. Remove those and set aside. You'll also want to remove the cast import. The standard Pro Forge has an import on the left-hand side. We do offer the dual port forge. If you got dual ports, take them off both sides. It's 3 Phillips head screws. All right, now that all the screws are out, knock the end caps off each end. Notice how you loosen the Pro Forge shell. It's at the bottom, the back of that shell is split, so you can open it just a little bit. The old liner should slide out. Vacuum, clean everything up, get the inside of that shell back in good shape. The Pro Forge Reliner kit comes complete with a hearth plate cushion, a hearth plate, the door liner, and the refractory material. The Pro Forge liner is designed to withstand travel in a truck or a trailer, great in a shop. The round shape of it lends to its integrity. Now JJ's going to take the liner and he's going to line up. There's 2 holes pre-cut in the top where your forge burner goes back in, so he's going to make sure those are at the top. Now he's going to open the front door, and you want the bottom of that liner right there just below the front lip of that door opening, because your hearth plate's going to set in there and make that level. So it goes just below. Then you can also check the top and make sure the holes are lined up for the burner. Now we're going to install the door liner. It'll just push in. He's got to take the old screws out. There's 2 screws in the newer forges to help hold the door liner in. Let's take the old screws out. We're going to push that door liner right in there. It's a snug fit. Just gently push that in all the way around. Using a putty knife to push that under the gap there in your front door bar stock slot. And now he's going to put 2, those are hex head, 1/4 inch hex head screws, 2 inches long. Just drive those right through the top into the liner material. And that just helps hold that liner in there going down the road, opening and closing the door. Just going to check the fit one more time, making sure the door's lined up. Now up on end. There's the holes that were in the can. He's trying to line those back up. They're self-tapping screws, so they don't have to line up. But if you can line those back up when you install the bar stock port, your holes will already be in the right place. Using a rubber mallet, tapping that on there. And we'll flip it over, do the same on the other end. Lining the old holes up. Now we're gonna use a furniture clamp the top. Just checking the door again, making sure that we're still lined up. Gonna put the hearth plate cushion in. And then the new hearth plate. And you want to put the hearth plate cushion and the hearth plate in before you clamp it down, in case you need to spin that liner around, make it line up with your door. You want to do that first. Then if everything fits, then you can clamp it down and we'll screw the end caps back on. So all that looks good. So he's going to start at the back, clamp it there. You don't have to have the furniture clamp, but it does make it easier. Compress that together. You want a good snug fit, keep that liner from rattling around. All right, now we want to install the bar stock ports back on the end. You use the same screw holes when you put the end cap back on, so now those are going to line up. Everything's going to be square and straight. Just 3 Phillips head screws. Reinstall the handle. Now we're going to reinstall the igniter bracket. It's 2 Phillips head screws. We're right back in the same holes. All right, now we're ready to reinstall the burners. We've got a new gasket. The gasket's there just to help take up space and to cushion between the burner and the top of the forge. Gasket is a little bit fragile, but even if it gets a little rip or a tear in it, still work just fine. Slide that down, then push the burners down into the new refractory. It's a little bit of a tight fit, as it should be. Push that all the way down. Then we're going to put our flat washers back on each side. And the nuts, 7/16 driver. We're going to hand tighten those with a nut driver. You don't want to over tighten. You want to be snug, but don't over tighten. All right, now we're going to reinstall our igniter button. Slide that through the front. It's got the big nut on the back. Spin that back on, hand tighten. And then we'll plug our lead wire back in. All right, now the relining process is complete. You should be ready to go back to work. For more information, go to cliffcarroll.com or contact your local dealer.